Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I've been doing a lot of these conversations lately with a lot of other creators, like-minded creators, people all over, and on Instagram through Threads. I've met a couple people that I met at a convention. Um, Today, I'm sitting with a person who does pretty much almost everything that I do, but 20 times better. The other day, he hit me up with some advice. He's like, "What should I do?" And I gave him what I thought was great advice. And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna do this to make it better." I was like, "Why didn't I think of that? I should be hitting you up." Uh, Today, I'm talking to a photographer, not only a photographer, somebody who I could relate to, but a podcaster, a podcast producer, and somebody who is a visionary in the sense of he can take an idea in his mind and quite literally bring it into existence, have a space and create content within that space. And not only think about creating content for himself, but also empower other people to create content. And that's something that I wholeheartedly love to do, would like to even do at his level someday. Ladies and gentlemen, warm welcome to Clyde. We got him right here. What's going on, brother?
What's going on? What's going on? Glad to be here. Appreciate you having me. Appreciate you having me.
Uh, no, thank you for even making the time, man. Because I've been seeing a lot of things that you've been doing, your space, your
Mhm.
photography work. I have so many different questions, but yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to you on my platform and have people know about you. So uh, we met through Mark, right? Mark Ronick.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was on a panel for a podcast summit here.
Hmm.
It was very spontaneous. One of the founders of the conference, I've just known her in passing via some shoots here and there. And she was like, "I see you got the podcast room and you studio. You want to come on the panel?" I'm like, sure." Like,
Yeah,
I don't think she even really known. Matter of fact, she's never been in this studio to even see what I have set up. She just saw like me producing content and was going from there. But I think what caught her mind about or caught her eye towards me about it is that I was so focused on how it looked.
yeah,
Like, I was so focused on it needs to be visually pleasing, like, the, quality and the lighting is, first priority. Of course, the sound and podcasting, but what drew me into podcasting is, I mean, I watch it regularly, like, I watch multiple different podcasts regularly, and, while I'm watching them, some of the ways or some of the reasons I choose the ones I watch is based off the visual. It's almost like
same,
if
same.
even though podcast is based off sound and mic and no visuals, but it's like I won't even entertain your podcast if it doesn't have a visual. If I can't pull it up on YouTube and watch it, I probably won't listen to it. So from that
Yeah.
mindset, that's what drew me into creating a space where people can just rent out dope
That
quality.
yeah, I love that. When did you start listening to podcasts? When was like you say the first podcast you listened to?
Uh, first, I would say first podcast. Shout out to the pregame podcast out of Indianapolis, Indiana. While I was there, living for a nice little 2 year stint, I did end up coming across them and
Hmm.
actually got to go to a set and everything, like their space that they had theirs set up, and I've actually seen them transition to even a different space as they decided to invest more in it. But I would say the pregame podcast, they didn't have visuals. Like, I wouldn't say that I never listened to a podcast only.
Yeah,
Of course, when podcast wasn't as prominent as it is now,
yeah,
nobody was doing videos of it. So of
yeah.
course, yeah, you had to listen. But theirs was one of the first ones I kind of got into. I would say ones that I watched regularly, probably just Joe Budden. I'm not even gonna lie, like
Let's.
Joe Budden podcast.
Why are people ashamed to talk about the Podzilla, Joe Budden? Like he's
Oh,
the,
I'm not,
uh,
man. I
yeah,
agree with. I agree. Crazy thing, I agree with. I get it. Like, of
Yeah.
course, everybody's going to create the narrative around their story to make it
Mm-hmm.
sound right. But I get the logic, at least. I
Yeah.
get it. So, and then, just how I can even say like the arrogance around like you people not even gonna clear up. You're not even gonna wipe off your lens right. You starting a
Yeah.
podcast and you got the mic in front of you and it's not even plugged in. Like
Yeah.
stuff like that, like the simple things. Once a lot of people correct those, I think they will at least flourish. I mean, it still comes back down to the quality of content you're
Quality.
presenting. If you're
Quality. Yep. Quality is
Yeah.
everything. Even like audio, visual, but like the context, the conversations that you're having, like you're not having a producer. There's no like notes. There's no planning involved. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
you can have the 4K camera quality, great audio, but then if the client comes in and they have no structure, it's not going to work.
Yep,
I'm
yep.
yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, I asked you about what's your favorite podcast because a lot of people don't know this, but you have a podcast studio in Memphis, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir.
so you have a lot of different types of podcasts. So what are some of those podcasts that come in there? Like, what are they mostly?
Let's see. Crazily, I don't market it as just a podcast room. It's
Hmm.
kind of like content as well because I can just flip this camera vertical right now, and now I'm doing talking heads.
Yeah,
So I do get a lot of content creators here and there that'll just come in and say, "Okay, I'm gonna script out these 6, 7 tips, and I'm gonna do a video on each." So I get a couple people like that. I get a couple people who I get a mixed diversity. Like I actually have these Latino women that come. They actually call Latinas with a mic. That's the name of their podcast.
that's funny.
Yeah. So they kind of do like the typical relationship podcast type stuff, but it's in their world. So
Yeah,
of course it's different from us, and what we usually are privy to. Um, get a couple real estate agents that come in and talk about real estate stuff. Like they'll
yeah,
have like a dialogue with other real estate agents. I've had some therapists come through. Um, I've had some random just,
yeah, yeah. I
random
love
chicks
the
just wanna
random.
start a podcast and they just
Yeah,
and they have a network of people that they can invite in. So I get just some regular people sometimes that just wanna be
yep.
on the set. Like the
I
set
love it.
draws them in.
And you spoke about realtors. My friend Israel, he's here. Shout out to him. He's in Cali. What's going on, man?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
says, "Man, Clyde, that's a sick background you got there." Yo,
Oh, man.
I
Thank you,
love your
thank you.
background, man. I love it.
I appreciate it, man. Amazon's finest. The link is there.
Yes. Finally, words of wisdom based on the visuals. Yo, all right, Israel. Is it okay if I send him the your studio because Clyde, you got to see this man's studio.
Oh, yeah.
Kombucha's here. Hey, what's going on? So let's talk. Let's talk business.
Mhm,
What are some ways that you monetize your space? Because I have a studio space here as well, but
mhm.
it's in a home, so it's in a residential area, so it's not as profitable, but it is profitable to some degree. But what
Yeah.
is your business structure for your podcast studio? And you also said that you don't only uh, do photography. I'm sorry, you don't only do podcasting there, but you do other things. Is photography one of
Mhm.
those things?
Yeah, yeah. Photography is actually my main source of income. Like I majorly do photography. So I picked up video along the way when I got pretty much denied access to like some celebrity type stuff because they just called me. It was like, "Hey, you do video too?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm just pictures." He's like, "All right, I'm gonna call you back." Never call back. So from that day, I picked up video. So I do primarily photography. I'll do video, mostly like promo work or like quick visuals for people, mostly behind the scenes of the photo shoot that I'm already doing. I'll do that here and there. I try to stay away from music videos or just any full production. I'll just relay that to my videographer. At that point, then I bring in a videographer. But my space is about 70% photo studio. Like I have 2 rooms right now, which I'm in one now, and this is one of the podcast rooms. I have another podcast room, but I'm actually consolidating these into one bigger room up front and creating more of a set, more of a set where up to like 6 people can sit down. So I'm gonna
Wow.
go from there and then use the different angles because it's kind of like you got a front angle, you got a side and a side. So that whole set together, 6 people can sit all together because it's 2 chairs there, and the couch in the middle that can sit 2 seats. Or I can, literally angle to one side and that'd be one set. Angle to the other side, that's another set. Straight to the middle, and that's one set. If one person wants to do like just one camera view, because everybody wants to be cheap. Nobody wants to like pay for
Yeah.
3 and 4 or 5 different camera views. Nobody really want to pay for that.
Oh,
But
speaking
I
of
do
like
have it
camera
available.
views, let me go grab this real quick. Let me show you what I just picked up.
For sure, for sure.
Oh, I just got. Let me disconnect that and that and that. So I just got the Streamer X,
Okay.
and
That's like from Rode.
yeah, it's from Rode. So instead of it being a multiple XLR, is just let me block my face here. Is one XLR and one HDMI. So it's a 4K video capture card, and you can plug in the Rode's USB mics to get a USB mic. You can use the wireless mics, the
Mhm.
wireless goes with this wirelessly. So this for me, when I have some clients who they want me to come over their homes or they have like a simple setup, I'm going to use that instead of bringing my Rodecaster Pro 2.
Oh,
I
for
also have
sure.
a Rodecaster Pro 1. I'm also able to just record the video in 4K and capture the audio. Like to me this is a game changer.
Yeah,
And
I might
clients are
look into it,
it,
get the mobile versions going.
Yeah, the mobile podcasting is a really nice field. Right now, I'm doing $500 for a mobile setup, and normally it's a headache. So I'm bringing in the Rodecaster Pro 2, the A10 Mini
Mhm.
Extreme ISO, HDMI cables, XLR. Now with this, now the setup is the footprint's a lot smaller. Only negative on this is that it's only one XLR. But man, I'm not gonna lie to you. There have been plenty of times where I have a splitter. I'll probably
Mhm.
just use a splitter, and most clients they just want the look, and they want the podcast. They want the podcast look. They don't necessarily care about the quality. As long as it looks and sound good, that's it.
So the audio is still decent with a splitter, right?
Audio's decent with a splitter. What I wanted to do is actually get a splitter that splits it. I don't think they make it, but imagine splitting it a left channel and a right channel so I could edit the left channel if somebody's speaking on the left side and a right channel so I could edit them individually. That's what I do with this other microphone that I have, but it'll all come down to one channel. And I've
Yeah.
never had anybody complain like, oh, I want to edit out this part. No, they just like the podcast look. They like the podcast sound. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I
Oh,
did get I told you I
hey
had
Tanya.
the Duo. So I have the Duo. So but that is way like that can probably be good for like travel. And then
Oh yeah.
especially if you're traveling and like you do content, live stream content, and you gotta travel somewhere. It makes it easier for you to pack your bags, pack a mic, and have that one setup. So all you gotta do is run your cord into the setup, run your mic into the setup, and you can get right to live streaming wherever you gotta work from. But yeah, that's dope. I would charge way more than 500. I can tell you that.
Oh man. See, see,
I,
see y'all.
yeah.
See, this is why I talked to this guy. This is why. So I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna
500,
tell him. I'm gonna
man.
tell him the conversation that we were having. So he hits me up and says, "Yo, I'm thinking about building, you say like building like a podcast studio for a client. And I'm like, yo, man, you go probably charge them 700, 750. And you're like, I was thinking about 5,000 or something. It was something like that. I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? I should probably charge that.
Yes, yes. You got to think like this is like they're never one. You got to think they're never coming back to you. Like once you build this, that stream of income is gone. So what is the value of that? Then what's the value of me actually creating? Like you want me to actually physically come put these on the wall for you? Yeah, that's even more because like you said, time is of the essence. We don't have a lot of time when we're running around and trying to make it to sessions and all that stuff like that. So you want me to carve out 4 and 5 hours for me to get all this material that you just bought, hook it all up, get the setup on the wall and everything, light you up and everything, and like set your setup. The price of that is crazy. Like
Yeah.
maybe 5,000 is extra, me being overzealous or whatever, but I think you eventually said like 1K or you charge somebody 1K and then you had to do their wood while I said, oh, now that's 1K was just for the setup.
Yeah.
You want me to
So
do the background too? Yeah, that's an add-on fee at that point. Like, I
after
can
our
fit you.
after our conversation, I actually did send a estimate to someone for $1,900 for a studio
Mhm.
setup and a wall. And I'm like, yeah, this sounds way better than how much I was gonna charge initially.
They still getting over like, does that include materials too? Like you paying for
No,
materials too?
no, they're buying the material. So
Okay.
they're buying the material, they're buying the equipment, and the one up that I'm getting is they're buying the things via my Amazon affiliate. So
Yeah,
that's
you
like a
get that
nice
extra.
plus, get the
Mhm.
extra, but also it's like I got to set everything up. So that's not, I mean, it's not horrible for me. It's just more so the time. And I'm like 1,900 to set everything up. I think that's a decent rate.
Yeah, man. Especially when you get if they have a nice space to where you set it up and like they don't have to move anything. Whenever they're ready to record, they can just come in, cut everything on, sit down and talk.
Yep.
Yeah, the price of that is, and then you gotta teach them. You gotta spend
That's
another
another
hour
thing.
teaching
So
teaching them
so
how to do
so
it.
here's something that I was my friend here Tanya, she's in the chat right now.
Mm,
She says, "Hey everyone." So one thing that she was telling me about just time. Time is of the essence, like you were saying. Like we can't really waste time. So what I started to do this week, I had 2 sessions where I had clients that I'll go over their home, show them how to use their Sony ZV-E10 for like an
mm,
hour. Then I'll go to this other spot and show this guy how to use Ecamm. And I got paid for it. Felt right. When I left there, I feel like when I wasn't paid, I was there for hours. And when the
mhm.
client, and mind you, this is a client that I've had free sessions with, right? And I felt like the hour went by. They were all right. So we got to get going. Do you have another slot open tonight? I said, no, I don't, because I got to go somewhere else right after you. And
Yeah.
when you put respect on yourself, people tend to treat you differently. So I was like, "Ooh, this is different. This is this is a good feeling,
Oh,
man."
yeah. You gotta remember, man, you're the expert to them. You're the professional to them. You are the one that they are in need of. Like they called you, no matter how much money they have. Like when it comes to celebrities and stuff, okay, here and there, yeah, of course, celebrity DMs you, of course. Why
Yeah,
not take the opportunity? You sit there and say, no, it's $1,000 to shoot.
yeah,
Okay, missed the opportunity then. That's on you. You have within all your rights to decline that offer. But when you can just stand on like whatever you say, like it definitely creates a different respect out of them. And if they don't like it, they can always just find somebody else. But I mean, at that point, you're in your head like, who are you gonna go get better quality from? If you're
yeah,
going, this is what happens in my head with photos for sure. Um, if you decline working with me, or let's just say the quality you want is the quality that I provide. Let's say you didn't want to work with me because my prices is too high. If you want somebody with just as good quality or better, you're going to be paying way more. I'm already underpriced in my eyes. It should be more. Um, I only got my price set to the market that's around nobody. I mean, a couple people may be charging more than me, but they're in a whole different field of what they're shooting. For the general consensus or the general audience, where I'm priced at, I'm probably the most expensive photographer. And that's on purpose because all the other people I know that are good or just as good as me, I looked at their prices and then purposely charged more because I felt like I was better. That's just my personal opinion or whatever. And that's what keeps me pushing ahead. That's what keeps me when I see people quote unquote gaining on me, when I see their, work starting to catch up, I just pop out with something new. Like pop out with something different. I probably already been working on it for months. And it's like, okay, I'll just drop it now or whatever. So you definitely don't want to get comfortable, but you always want to stay ahead. So
Oh, I
yeah,
love
like
that. I love that.
yeah,
The pop
charging,
out is
man.
shown. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple of studios that there's a guy in my area who has a podcast space, and
Mhm.
he doesn't necessarily understand the situations of XLR, HDMI, how to utilize lighting, background blur, dealing with microphones. So he charges a competitive rate. I just charge more. And when people say, "Hey, so and so charges this much," and he has a studio, I was like, "Well,
Go to him.
so and so don't have 4K, but go to him, of course." And then
Go to
they go
him.
to him, and they go to him, and they, oh man, I told
Then they
homeboy I
calling
want to
you,
do it. Yeah,
Can you edit the
can
video for
can
me?"
you
Then they're
edit the
calling you back.
video? Hey, I thought I want to do a Zoom podcast. I did a Zoom podcast with Gil. You don't got a Zoom? Like, no. So I definitely need to charge more. So what is your rate for a podcast session?
Okay, for me, and I'm way undervalued, but for me, I charge 75 an hour. So you can walk in my studio right now and get all of this light, key light, side lights that you can change in any color, a private room, you can close the door, uh, two mics for 75 an hour. And you're probably gonna have an engineer in here watching, the levels and everything like that.
Yeah.
You get that for 75 an hour. And the crazy thing is, people here in this market still think like it's a lot. I guess I get it because it still boils down to, is your podcast making you money? Do
Yeah.
you have extra money to even spend on this? Um, I started to one day, what I was gonna do is just take the price of everything that I bought in here and put it on the Excel sheet, and then just put a percentage on it and say, this is how I came up with the price that you're paying. You're basically renting everything in this room, from down to the room to the camera, everything. I pay for everything in here, and you can't pay 75 an hour. That's
Yeah.
ludicrous.
I,
Like
I've,
that's
I've,
crazy.
yeah, I've done that. I've done that. My wife has actually sat down with
Mhm,
me, and we kind of broke that down. And when that happened, I started to realize that my high class clients who has the
mhm.
money, who has the ability to, pay my salary even, choose not to because they want to be penny pinchers. And when you show them your quality and they say, "Hey, build me a studio for me." I build them the studio. I say, "Well, it's going to be a $200 consultation every hour that you want to learn and sit down with me." $200. I was like, "Yeah, I built the studio, and I'm gonna show you how to build it. I'm gonna show you how to work it. I'm gonna show you all the situations you need." And they say, "Bump it. I'm gonna go to YouTube."
Mhm.
They don't. They already don't have
Yeah.
time, but they have the money. They're not. They won't pay it. It's so
You got an
interesting.
ebook, don't you?
Was that
You have an ebook, don't you?
an ebook? Oh, I no, I don't. I
Yeah.
don't have a physical. I have a physical book. And
No,
speaking
what
of
you sent me, that was an ebook.
which one? Oh, that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I do. I do. Oh, yeah. That. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
won't. I don't.
you
I
better
didn't
make that
consider
an
it.
ebook.
Yeah, I might as well
Here you
make that an
go.
ebook. Man, you making me money, bro.
Do it
Let's get off
yourself.
this live. I just thought about that.
Hey,
That's an ebook.
that's a
That's a whole.
whole ebook. A
That's a
whole
whole
ebook,
ebook. So you think I
literally.
should charge for
You can
that?
probably, you can put filler. Yeah, I mean, you can put filler stuff in it and then like, really get deep into why I'm choosing this, or
Hmm.
here's a other options from that, and still can be your Amazon links. But yeah, man, I will capsule that up, man. You can give it for free.
Yeah.
You $5, whatever. Like it don't have to be nothing crazy, but that's a whole ebook because what you want is them to get it and then they're still gonna go home and not do it. Or they
Yeah.
may go home and buy everything and then be like, I don't know how to put all this shit together.
So
That's what's
that's
gonna happen. Then
that
they're gonna
that
call
has
you.
happened. That's happened a couple times. Hey, let's do a consultation.
Mhm.
$200. Oh, I just want to know what to buy. Send them the ebook. They buy most of the stuff. Hey man, can you come over and
Mhm.
just look at the stuff? It's $100 for me just to come over, and it's 200 for the consultation. So what do you want to do? I'll come over and I'll tell you what's going on, but I'm not. Or we could just do a Zoom call. They do the consultation. They say, man, that was an hour. You can't teach me how to plug everything up and do all that in an hour. I was like, no, I'll teach you how to use Ecamm. I'll teach you how to the camera settings. And then some people will say,
Mhm.
man, that's a scam. But how long did it take you to learn all of this?
Well, I would say I'm fortunate to just be a tech savvy person. So I'm not versed in audio and visuals like that per se, or even like just the small, intricate details and everything. Like I just YouTube something into like I literally was just YouTube and YouTube and YouTube. And like that's even how I even came across the Rodecaster. Like I'm glad I came across it when it did because the Rodecaster 2 had just came out and it was like, oh look, you don't have to buy
Ooh.
all these 8 different pieces just to make the mic
Yeah,
sound good. Like that was just it was perfect timing for me. So all I needed was the three components: a laptop, the ATEM Mini, and a Rodecaster, and some mics. After that, I mean, shoot, you know how to plug things up. From there,
that's it.
it's just simply just plugging one to this side, one to that side. Like it's
Yep.
from there. I mean, I already have the compute camera knowledge and stuff. So of course that's just setting up the camera like I'm about to shoot somebody.
Yep.
Um, Other than that, I mean, it's just trial and error and just plugging stuff in and seeing what works, honestly.
Yep.
That's why and people say, "Oh, you gonna do a class?" And I'm like, I'm gonna have to put like a structure or a system together and then present that because what I do or how I came up with what I did, it was a lot of just trial and error and just YouTube and honestly. So if you
Yep.
want to pay
Same.
for a class, come here and just for me to tell you to go to YouTube, it don't make sense.
That's the same thing for me. It's just more so like trial and error. Me just buying stuff, testing it out. So
Mhm.
you started with photography first, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So same thing with me. I started with photography, and I did a seminar, and I got paid probably the most I ever gotten paid for a seminar. It was like I want to say it was like a week seminar, and I got $6,000 early on,
Mhm.
not knowing what I'm doing. Needless to say,
I wish.
I did a horrible job. Now looking at it now, I did a horrible job. I didn't know what I was doing. I bought like cheap wireless mics so the speaker
Mhm.
could be recorded. I had a Nikon cameras with Sony, and the colors weren't matching.
You
But
messed
hey,
up
the
right there.
client, yeah,
On
I know,
on
right?
my camera.
I know, but it was a crazy time. But then that helped me jump into podcast because now I'm filming somebody speaking, and
Mhm.
somebody else tells me, "Hey, I want to do a talking head video at my studio." I said, "Cool, let's do it." And then it kind of said, I told myself maybe I could do a podcast, and that ended up oh that ended up being the whole thing. Did I lose you?
No, no, I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, that ended up being how I kind of got into podcasting was just through
Mm.
doing a seminar and then having a client want to do a talking head video. So now I'm
Yeah.
here. Now I have this spare bedroom that I converted into this studio space. Another thing I wanted to ask you is with your podcast space, you have multiple rooms, right?
Yeah. Yep. It's I have a whole like studio suite. It's probably like 2,800 or so square feet. So like I said, majority of it is just studio background paper. I just had like some structures and stuff put in. So I got like this cool four arches that's like my dressing rooms pretty much. But when you close the curtains, when you close the drapes, it just looks like a background pretty much. So I kind of did like this multi-purpose dressing room area and vanity area with that. And then I have 4 rooms, 1 large room and 3 rooms of the same size, kind of smaller room like this one. My videographer rents out one of the small rooms, then the other 2 small rooms were podcast rooms, and the big one, it was rented by somebody, but now it's about to be the premium podcast room.
Okay.
And the 2 smaller rooms I'm about to put up for rent. So I need like a makeup artist or like esthetician or something in, and they're gonna pay rent for the private suite.
I love that. Let's jump into some of these comments.
Sure, sure.
Road Streamer X is on. Yeah, so I bought this, and I bought this today, and I was like, I thought I was getting a deal. Apparently, it's on sale everywhere for $249, and with just seeing the patterns and rhythm of technology, they're probably about to drop a better one. So that keep a lookout on that.
Probably one with 2 mics.
Yeah, probably. If they get one with 2 mics, man, I feel like I got. Tiny says, I'm with him on that. Pricing includes timing and experience, 100%. Israel says, let me make this bigger here. Time is the most precious commodity. Wise words from this setup. For this setup, although I do have ideas for how one can create a drip system of income. That's my real estate. Yeah, so I know everybody, like, you could pretty much bring your own experience into podcast production. That's the beautiful thing about it. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's why I have my truck, man. My truck, I got a bunch of equipment on there just so I could create easy. A client says, I got 4 people. Oh, we agreed to do 4 people, but the mayor decided to drop by. Do you have an extra mic? I'm like, yeah, I got a splitter. And I got a splitter in the truck.
I live in Memphis. I can't carry everything around with me.
Oh, yeah, I know. But you got to carry. If you know, you know.
Yeah. I can't have everything with me in Memphis, or just keep it in my car per se. I can't keep it. Just keep it.
Yeah.
That's asking.
Oh, no, yeah. Oh, no. I don't keep it in the car. Only when I'm like traveling to do a shoot, I'll probably put like the roadcaster.
You just have extra. Yeah.
Extra stuff, yeah. Hey, that sounds pretty.
I haven't got to, man, the mobile podcasting, man. Because look,
it'll work.
Man, for somebody already to get me to come out to do video, which I'm not, and I put an extra tax. Crazy thing, I put an extra tax on my video price because I'm not primarily a videographer. And if you want me to step outside something I primarily do, which means it takes me more time to do this. It takes me more time to cull through these video clips, set it up to even if I'm going to send it to an editor, it takes me longer to do that than it does pictures. I can go home and get pictures done in 10 minutes, like send it to who I need to go, and I can go to sleep. Video, I got to really go through it, get the right clip, because I recorded it the way I recorded it. So I start, man, once somebody want me to come do like promo video or behind the scenes, I'm like 500. That's for the first hour.
Yeah.
Then $250 an hour after that. You still only get 1 clip or whatever. But
I mean, even with that's the thing, like with the equipment, and Kombucha kind of says it here, people don't realize how much podcasting equipment costs. It's not also podcast equipment, but video. So with video production, you need a monitor, to make sure you get the right colors. And are you recording locally onto SD card, which isn't really recommended? You can, but you got to have a 2 SD card. So that means you got to get 2 expensive fast ones. Then, it's the SSD to hold and edit the video. It's a whole beast on its own.
And let's not talk about just for people who listening, just put it in your mind, the fact that all this stuff has to be broken down, packed up, brought to you, unpacked, set up, then used, broken back down, packed back up, brought back to the studio, and probably set back up for a whole nother session, maybe the next day or something like that. Like that costs, I'm sorry, that whole process costs. And if I need to buy a whole nother set of podcasting equipment just to come do mobile, then the price really gonna go up at that point.
I like that. Hey, it looks like he wants us to move over to LA. He said we'll make a kill. He said you'll make
Man,
a killing.
hey, if you start passing me some gigs along and I come out there
Yep.
probably once every other month, I can make the consideration. Look, I'm from Mississippi originally, and I'm living in the Memphis area now. And I moved around a lot. So younger days was in South Mississippi, then we moved up to Memphis, then did all high school and everything here. Then I went away to college, still in Mississippi, but just another city. Then once I graduated college, moved to Cincinnati for like 9 months, then Chicago for like 9 months, and then
Wow.
Indianapolis for 2 years. So majority of my adult life, I moved around a lot. So me being stuck in one place, I mean, I'll move. I mean, if the money now, the cost of living is
Yeah.
crazy there. I don't know
Yes.
how that would go with. I mean, yeah, I'll be making way more, but I'll be paying out way more for cost of living. But I'll come visit for sure. Every quarter or something like that. If you got something lined up for me, I can come help with whatever. I'll come out there because there's a lot of people that want me to come out there a lot. I gotten into the entertainment industry a little bit out there through some
Hmm.
PR connections and stuff like that. So they're always like, "When the next time you out here, man? We need you out here." And it's like, when
Yep.
y'all buy the
When you're
ticket.
paying. So
Yeah.
so we got really good some good questions here. Tanya asks, "Are you at the studio every day, or is it able to run itself?" Great question.
Okay. So I did set my studio up to be ran on its own. So I'm currently like I have an intern now. I think he might still be in. He was just in there shooting. But I have an intern that we're training up. I'm also looking for other photographers that want to like rent out. And once they're renting out, I will transition into like, offering them payments to be here at certain times of the day. So while they're here, people can almost do like walk-ins. That's a goal of mine, like JC Penney, like how you can get the
Yeah.
kids dressed and go JC Penney right now.
Hmm.
And there's a photographer there waiting. They might not be doing nothing all day, but you just walked in and you booked a session. I kind of want that same kind of atmosphere here, but just on the I'm trying to go somewhere affordable type
Yeah.
mindset. It's more so convenience per se. But I actually have a renter who pays monthly. He has a code to the back door. I don't have to be here. He knows how to come in, cut on all the lights. The camera is normally already vertical and waiting on whoever's sitting at this spot right here. So all I gotta do is cut everything on, sit down and start talking, and I didn't have to be here. Then I got cameras in here. I can look at the camera from my phone if they need any assistance. They'll just call me. But other
Yeah.
than that, it's pretty simple. Cut everything on. It's already set up. The settings is already on the camera. Even the manual focus is already set for whoever's sitting right
Oh
here.
man,
Don't touch anything. Just sit behind and start talking, and you good.
I love that. Joe, what's going on, Joe? Joe asks, "How did you decide on what topic to make content about?" But you're not necessarily a content creator, right?
No, no, I mean, I guess technically I am,
Yeah.
but in
Yeah.
the sense when I made this podcast, it wasn't for me to have my own podcast at all. It's literally I watch podcasts a lot. Everybody's making a podcast now. Let me create a space because I don't see any podcast. Because me and two other photographers, we wanted to do like a photography podcast where we bring in maybe another photographer one week, a makeup artist one week, a hairstylist one week, and just talk about the relationships between the two and how does that work on, just hearing both sides of the story or whatever when it comes to clients and photographer versus hairstylist or photographer versus MUA. And we wanted visuals. I wasn't gonna do it unless it was visual, but we didn't
Yeah.
have a space to do it here. We could have set it up ourselves, but we didn't know I mean, now you asking us to buy all the mics and all the setup and all stuff like that. And we just didn't have it or didn't know how to or didn't want to at that point.
Yep.
But I wanted to create a space where that person that just wanted to try it, like, oh, let's just try it out. Me and two friends, let's go see what it's about. Pay the $75, and now you having a actual produced podcast episode that may spark your interest for more.
I
Honestly,
love
once they
that.
sit down in here, I take clients from my photography session Once they get done with their photography session, I'll have this room already set up. So when they're walking past the door, they see the mics, they see the lights and
Yeah.
everything. They just, it catches their eye as they
Yep.
walk past. So when they're done shooting and we're walking back out, I'm like, "Why don't you come on in? Just let's see what you look like on TV." TV is
Yeah.
already facing this way, so as soon as they step behind this table and sit down, they see their face on the screen because it's already in focus. It's
Yep.
already set up, everything. And then I just start asking them questions about how was they shoot. So that's how I actually get recorded reviews instead of just
Yeah.
regular Google reviews. So
That's nice. I like that.
no content from me
Hey,
just yet.
what's going on, Monty? Finally able to, oh yeah, thanks man. This dude right here is a legend. Check him out on YouTube. He does a lot of live streaming,
Sure.
camera for churches, buildings, companies, events, all that. We got another question from Israel. He asks, on each of those rooms, do they have their own mic and light, or do you use the same ones for all the studios? So I guess they're
Okay.
asking if
So
you have multiple.
when I first started, I definitely was. I actually have a reel on my page, or I at least recorded it to where I had to break down all this, even the workstation, drag it over to the other room, set it back up for whoever is recording in there, and then having to come back in here because I had another person coming that wanted this background. So at first, I just had one set up. Then my intern, luckily, thank God, whoever you praise, whatever, the energy has brought an intern in to me that has his father does online ministries and all that stuff like that, and they already had a whole setup already.
Wow.
They actually, when he came in to rent, along with his rental package and me helping him and everything like that, we threw in that, hey, y'all can use the other podcast room as long as I'm able to actually rent out the room as well, using your equipment as well. So we worked that deal out. So at one point, yeah, I was moving back and forth, and then out of nowhere, it's a whole another setup with 2 cameras in there. He has mics, everything. Like, he has some different mics, but he actually ended up getting a Shure mic. So now, here and there, when I need to use that room and it's just 2 people talking, I'll take my Shure mic over there with his. Then we have 2 SM7Bs, or I have 2 of the smaller ones whenever I need to match them. So
Okay.
I did start off with just 1 setup, but now there are 2 setups in my studio.
That's awesome. Joe says, I am just coming in or going in. So you are a photographer studio. So you are a photographer studio that is set up to record content. So
Yeah.
you have a studio for photography, but also you have
Mhm.
multiple rooms in there for podcasting, video, talking head, and you also rent out the other space because it's 2,200 square feet, and you have multiple rooms.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I love that, man.
Yeah, man, a lot of space to work out with. When the space was all offices, and when the contractor, well, not the contractor, when the landlord was like telling me about it, he was like, "Well, we actually want to update this space to more
Hmm.
of a flex option. Everybody is wanting a flex option, so we wanted to go ahead, like, even if you don't want this space, we're about to bust out these rooms and just have an open back space." Or I was like, "No, that's perfect. Just leave me
Yeah.
4 rooms up front. Leave me the 4 rooms up front, and you can take everything out back there." And that's what they did. They cleared the whole back area cleared out. So I just have this whole open warehouse space that I have built a photography studio out of, and then the other 2 rooms, they're rentable rooms. They're rooms that bring in rent, whether it's
Yeah.
somebody sitting in there renting it as their office or there are podcast rooms.
Oh, I love that. What's the Mike? I guess I gotta have a question. Anything coming up that you want to do to change? Are you hosting events in there? Are you doing live streams? Like, what's coming up for
Um,
you?
man, some of everything, honestly. I've had a girl come through and she's an artist. I was presenting to her the space as she can, like, do an art show in here. Definitely entrepreneur link ups. I had somebody reach out to me. They want to do like a model photographer type link up here. I want to get into some, high end birthday parties. So I do have an event planner that's scheduling a meeting with her now. So event planner's gonna come through and kind of check out the space and see what she can do and everything like that. I'm everything.
Everything.
Everything this space can do, I'm going to do it. And I have unique pieces in here that can help any of those, even down to, let's say somebody drape off the whole building. It's all lovely. You got up lights everywhere. It's a lovely scene. Then you having a birthday party. Like we still have podcast rooms set up to where the guests can come in and give like their, share their moments with the birthday person.
Yeah,
Like, and it can be presented to them later, like, okay, this was something everybody kind of snuck in and did while you wasn't looking, and then, present it on screen or something. Or maybe even, present it before they even leave, like, just chop it up on CapCut real quick and throw it on a projector or something.
I
So
love that.
all kinds of ideas, man. My mind will get to wondering, but yeah, it's a
Yeah,
lot coming up at Flight Studios. Look out for it. And I would say, I know you didn't ask this, but man, in the next 5 or 10 years, or whatever, I do want to franchise Flight Studios and have this same kind of concept building in different areas, man.
yeah. I guess you pretty much answered Joe's question. How would you describe your business? And it's a it's a content creator space, essentially a place where you have a thought and idea and you can execute it. But the thing is, you're not going to overextend yourself. And that's
Oh
why
no.
that's what I like about you. You're just, well, we don't do that. It's going to be this much, and I don't want to do that, so I'm going to charge this. So that's amazing. So yeah, Joe, he
Yeah.
answered your question there. Tiny says that's so creative, and dude,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
telling you, it's amazing.
Speaking of that, it's like I created the studio more so of things that I like. So everything is based off of what I like and what I enjoy or how I want to see it. And if you can't be here, you can't be here. Like I would
Yeah,
love for people to come in and rent. I want people to come in and rent, but I think the way that I put it together and set it up is the most efficient way I could. And if you wanted something better, you can always pay more and go somewhere else.
yeah.
Or you can get best you can in this city here and just pay what I asked for. So just man, you gotta hey.
Yeah, I
Wait till
love
you get
that.
that space again. When you get you a space, because I don't see how you do it with safety and at your house, like
Dude,
people coming to
it's
your house.
it's crazy. When I first started, I had a lot of local rappers. That stopped immediately after a couple of instances. But now I only do it with influencers or people that I actually follow, people that I know. And a thing is, a lot of content creators, they like to have an entourage. So no entourage, nobody in a living room. Everybody has to be up here. And actually, don't bring nobody. It's just gonna be you, me, and or whoever your guest is, and that's it. But to be
Mhm.
honest with you, I haven't had anybody come in here since maybe July. Yeah, maybe a little bit, maybe one or two in August or this month, but not as much as
Mhm.
I used to, because it's like, yeah, I need a space. I either need to get a space or just create my own content. And I have the equipment, and I don't like wasting resources. So that's why I've been doing these conversation series with creators like you, because
Mhm.
I got to use it. A lot of people have to be aware of other creators out there, especially
Yeah.
you definitely inspire. You inspire me. You inspire me. So I figure you could definitely inspire a lot of other people.
Man, we could all help each other, like, because I think I met another photographer that was in Miami. And he kind of was like, man, we can't charge like there is too many people. And it's like, bro, do something to stand out. Like
Yeah,
that's all you have to do is just do something that's different. Do something that stands out. Offer a different experience. Offer like here's just a little bit easier because I can literally just stand on quality and say, okay, I'm just the best photographer at this point. If you
yeah,
choose anything less, you just choose anything less. But there's still some people don't care about the quality. Some people care about did you answer their DMs? Did you call them? Did you talk to them? And that's not really even what I like to do. So I lose a lot of bookings from just not wanting to really talk to clients because they all ask the same questions that are all listed on my website that
Yeah.
they don't want to read. So at that point, I don't deem you as my ideal clientele because you won't even read the terms and conditions at this point. So
Yeah.
when you got to cancel and you asking me, hey, can I get my money back? You're mad when I say
Yeah.
the terms and conditions say there are no refunds on deposits.
Yeah.
Like that's just the type of clientele you just want to avoid. So if they don't even want to read your website, it's no point even talking to them. Now, we all get hard times. Things always slow down. We always deviate from these things here and there. But I mean, for the most part, majority of people won't even really approach my messages and stuff unless they really sure they're about to, or they just don't know me and they'll just ask anyways. But I mean, it just gives and takes, bro.
Yeah.
But I would, man, I would definitely say once you get a space back and I will create even a different design than what you've been doing
Yeah.
because I
Oh
mean
man.
everybody loves that. But if
Oh
you
man.
create a different one, even down to black slats, like something
Yeah.
different, like man, I would say go black because you can bounce the colors off of it easier.
I was
White,
thinking.
it's gonna soak all that color in.
Yeah. I was thinking. All black, metallic, something like garage, something different. And then I have like a cutesy because the thing is, there's a couple YouTubers. The comment section,
Mhm.
they have a set where it's like a wall panel. Then I have another set here and another. I have so much ideas. I definitely want to get back into getting
Yep.
another space. Man, I'm super excited about doing that. I think we got a comment here. Great idea. What rate do you charge for the space? So it was 75. What does it include? So 2 mics for 75, and then they get an engineer,
Yep.
right? Yeah.
Yep. Two
What's that?
mics, one camera, lighting setup, and an engineer.
So Jabberwocky says, what can we see the guys? When can we see the guy's studio you mentioned earlier on the stream? What? Oh, I guess you.
No, you talking about the real estate
Oh,
guy. Safe.
the real Israel. Man, I don't know. I mean, I could like share the video like right now. I'll ask him. Let me just text him real quick. Can I share the? He says, "Hey, you got the green light if you want to show." Oh, let's go. He said, "I got the green light." Let's say less. Let's look at this amazing space. Let's see here. Where's Ecamm? Alrighty. This is going to be pretty sick.
Que me las quedaba viendo. O sea, me paraba enfrente así y a ver, no, solamente me enfocaba en las escaleras. Y hacía eso porque una vez, yo me imagino que me las quedaba viendo. O sea, me paraba enfrente así y a ver, no, solamente me enfocaba en las
I'm unmuted. There we go. So what'd you think?
Yeah, man, that look good.
Yeah.
That look
Yeah.
good. I hope mine coming like that a little bit when
Yeah.
when I transition to this other room. That's it's definitely gonna be more. I think it's just gonna look more comfortable. I think,
Yes.
than behind this table and stuff like that. Another look that I have in my head too, and if I ever get the space to do it, or maybe even revamp this space here and maybe keep a room, is I wanted to do like a sports center desk, like they had
Yeah.
like Stephen A, like FS1, like a desk to where it looks like or It Is What It Is, Cam and Mace.
Yes, I know that one. Yeah. I like
Like
I
something
like
like
that, man.
that
I ain't gonna lie to you.
for
I had
sports
that
people,
same
man.
idea. I had that same idea, but for anime and video games. Same concept.
Okay.
just to talk about
I
like
mean, it don't matter
anime.
who sit up there,
Exactly.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that idea.
that's
Man.
like get some crazy Cowboy fans in there and be like, man, look, just get in there and just start talking. And like just put on
What
a Cowboy
cameras
jersey and just start talking.
what cameras do you use?
Right now this is a 5D Mark IV. It's my old camera I used to shoot with.
Yeah.
So it does good video, so that's why I just put it in a podcast room. But my
Yeah.
other room, their equipment is the Blackmagic like cinema cameras. So they got like high end. Their equipment is more high end than mine. But I am looking to add on to theirs and use theirs more primarily in the big room, because I want it to look like you can produce a Netflix show in my production studio.
That's what I'm thinking about. Ken Butcher says video game. I'll definitely hit you up when I start that video game show. Hey, what's going on, brother? Joe says, was that $75 an hour?
I eventually I think I might have to get that piece you had, the small one, and like set up me like a station in the other area. Yeah. And to where I can start playing Call of Duty online, man.
So this is meant for game.
I can play Call of Duty.
Yeah. So this is meant for gaming, actually. So it has 2 HDMI, one for the camera, and then one for the console. And it has it. So I want to use it for gaming. I've been getting back into gaming. I guess we could talk about that. I mean, to be honest, not trying to blow your head up or anything, but dude, you have a very business savvy mind, and you are consistently working. Like before this call, you were working. Like you were like killing it. What do you do on your downtime? Is it video games? Yeah.
Nah, man. I have a wonderful girlfriend at home, so that takes up a lot of the free time. What I do, man, shooting is fun for me, honestly. Anytime I can save up some money and take a trip and go somewhere and do photo shoots, that's like my fun. That's like what I want to do, is just travel to other places, shoot different people. Outside of photography, I'm probably in the gym most of the time, trying to lose some more weight. I probably lost like 70 something pounds.
Oh,
or
nice,
whatever.
Man.
Yeah, man. Basketball here and there, but man, I primarily just been on this business. Business has become the hobby for me, I would say.
Yeah.
Honestly, even though that's everybody wants to say find something separate, but business has become the hobby. Like trying to get government contracts and trying to do something different. Everybody's posting and promoting to get birthday shoots, and I mean I don't have to do that all day. I can go shoot a construction site and get paid 10 times as much I would get paid to shoot somebody a birthday shoot that's going to annoy me.
and do less.
I can go shoot,
Yeah.
do way less. Corporate headshots can go shoot 50 people and go make 2, 3, 4K for a couple of hours than to just sit here in front of such and such who don't know what they want to do. Outfit don't fit halfway, and they're gonna complain later when they don't get their pictures the next day. Like I'm looking for other outlets of income.
Have you dabbled in anything with automation, like passive income, like stock footage or stuff like that?
I haven't. I've been told before I should probably, but I don't take a lot of, I guess, static images, or I don't take a lot of just images that could be used for stock, like cityscapes and stuff. Like I don't really.
You ever heard of Pexels?
Don't see when I go outside.
You ever heard of Pexels.com?
What was that?
Pexels, P-E-X.
I haven't.
So it's like a stock footage website for photographers, videographers. So if you can take photos of people, you can download them royalty free, but also you can upload the images and people can could buy or donate to you, and you just take a bunch of pictures. Let's say you take a trip to Virginia, and you take a bunch of photos, videos of the fall or the winter season, and you upload the photos there, and people would quite literally pay or donate to you because they like those photos, and it's so they could use them. It's something cool. It's not, you're not gonna like make a killing, but some passive income through your camera. Definitely through Adobe Stock or iStock. Those are some great ways to make some passive. I've been dabbling into voice acting, so using my voice for like commercials and stuff.
Yeah, you got the voice. You got the voice, man. That's why I don't be on it now. I still got a little country under my voice here and there.
Hey, no, you have a great country voice, man. I tried not to like. It's a great voice. I tried not to like copy your voice. Like, do I want to do that? Like, no, I can't do that.
Man, I don't hear it. I promise I don't. Actually, I feel like my speaking is probably like people would say, like from here they probably don't hear that I'm from this area. Like,
really,
they speak way worse than I. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's funny. Very toned down.
But hey man, I don't want to take too much of your time. I just want to say thank you for like agreeing to do this. You have anything else that you want to drop, share? Let's shout out to your Instagram. It is
just check me out on Instagram, madebyglide.com. That's MADEBYGLYDE. That's the screen name. Of course, madebyglide.com. That's my website. It's pretty much Made by Glide on everything, Twitter, all that good stuff. Appreciate y'all having me. I appreciate the questions, everything like that. Man, I definitely can't wait till my Instagram, my YouTube channel can bring in some people.
Yeah,
we can definitely do it again, so I can have my people, have my stream bring in some people as well, so we can.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, next time. All right, man. Appreciate you.
For sure.
All right, everyone. Thank you for watching.
All right, man. I appreciate you.
Peace.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, anytime.